Okay, well, then kind of moving to a related topic in a way, the board also approved a donation from the Cummings Foundation that's going to help our law enforcement community. It's a move that will allow for new wellness services for law enforcement and public safety personnel. What are the details of this program and how did this all come about?
Absolutely. So this has been a time of, immense stress for our law enforcement officers, both as they're trying to contend with and adjust to a new role for policing in the community, but also, I think, for example, we had officers downtown on January 6th with the insurrection of the Capitol. We saw a loss of officer life. I mean, this is a really challenging time for members of law enforcement, and so the kind of intensive and data-driven focus on their mental health and what their needs might be is something that really resonates with not only the need in Arlington County, but how I think Arlington County and the Arlington County Police Department has done its work. So we accepted a donation of services to do exactly that. The Cummings Foundation for Behavioral Health is a national group, and they are donating in-kind services to do a few different things, essentially conducting research, right? What are the needs for wellness and mental health within the Arlington County Police Department? What are our objectives? What do we hope for our officers and men and women in uniform? How do we design effective criteria and interventions? Developing that wellness program, deploying it, and evaluating it. So that kind of program monitoring is designed to really make sure that this is ultimately data driven. And the reason that's important is not only because we want to serve the Arlington County Police Department well, and by extension, the Arlington community well, but because we hope, and the Cummings Foundation hopes, that this program will become a template for public safety agencies, just like ACPD around the country. So it's exciting to have not only a recognition of these needs and an expert partner interested in meeting them, but the opportunity to really learn from that. And we hope be able to expand these services to others.
Yeah, expanding to others and helping all of our officers, the officers that I listen to and engage with in Arlington are as outraged to a person as we are about the murder of George Floyd. And I want to humanize our officers. Think about every day if you know that within a minute, you could be having to defuse a situation that has serious injury at stake or life at stake. And that anxiety, that constant difficulty is something we need to be aware of. And this is such an important, good effort and good donation to help us do that. One officer has been working on addressing homelessness, and helping one woman take his offer of help was keeping him up at night and worrying him. And so that's important. Another officer in the last year got hit by a brick, and he got a concussion, and working through that you can imagine if you were hit in the head by a brick, you're going to have concerns and some PTSD, likely, to be honest. So this is very important work, because we know we will be safest when our officers are centered and well and mentally healthy in all regards. And they are. This is just a tool to help us reinforce that. And that will help us stay safe and have our officers at their best in diffusing situations and keeping us all safe.
Now, just to kind of wrap the whole thing up, all of these measures that we've just spoken about focus on best practices in policing in regards to the community. Now, what is the ultimate goal here with all of these efforts for Arlington County?
Katie, I know we both share, I'd like to go from an average of 2 or 3 or 4 fatalities per year based on criminal assaults to 0. Every Arlingtonian matters. But in addition, there's so much else. We want everyone to be safe and feel safe. We've seen carjackings, a little flare in Crystal City. We know that every Arlington resident, when they feel safe on a daily and minute-to-minute basis, is happier and healthier. And so that is the effort, to go from a very good, and I would say, frankly, I distinguish Arlington's police force from even some of our surrounding neighbors. We have a history of a very good police force, but that doesn't mean we're perfect. And so going from very good to the next steps in excellence in 21st century policing is the overall goal of the PPG and the work we're doing. But I know that you're going to have other thoughts. We want everybody to be safe. So
that's exactly right. We want everyone to feel safe. And I think we want to grapple with the fact that even though Arlington has historically experienced very low rates of crime, which is a testament to our police department, that doesn't mean everyone in Arlington feels safe. That we have a lot of Arlingtonians who feel that they have had traumatic experiences with the police, either here or in other environments that they then carry when they see a uniform here in Arlington. And that those are often the results of bias or systemic racism. And I think one of the things that I think about is I don't believe that our Arlington County Police Department experiences a unique problem with systemic racism. I believe all of county government, and indeed many of the structures within our society in Arlington County, have been shaped by systemic racism. And so I don't think that the police department should especially be the target of this work, but I don't think they should be exempt from the work either. And that's something I've shared with our officers. I am excited about the idea. This is incredibly hard. It is incredibly personal. It is sometimes hard to hear and synthesize and still stay constructive. And so I am empathetic to our officers who are struggling in that. But this is an opportunity to really rethink the way systemic racism has structured public safety in this nation's history, and Arlington is no exception, and to uproot and to think about how to apply an anti-racist lens to that. One of the biggest ways is to think about what are police doing that police don't have to be doing. And I think this is really an area where a lot of the advocates, even advocates who maybe champion the defund the police banner, right, which is not one we've taken up in Arlington, but actually would agree with our police department, which is that we have police doing a lot of things that could be better done by mental health professionals, community-based organizations, and I know we're moving next to our topic with Vision Zero, could be better done by things like traffic cameras or a built environment that slows cars down, right? Nationally, 2/3 of the experiences that residents or Americans have with the police are involving a traffic stop. Can we create better traffic systems? Spoiler alert, I believe we can, right? That reduce the need for someone to be pulled over by an officer in uniform to keep the public safety on our public streets. So I think there is safety, as Matt said, it is exactly the watchword, right? We want everyone to feel safe, and that means a low crime rate, and that also means for many of our residents alternatives to policing.
Okay, well, thank you for the foreshadowing there for our next segment. As Katie mentioned, there were quite a few other issues that came before the board this month. We're going to take a look at some of those and get an update on COVID vaccinations when we come right back.